Another old A-10 rivalry, renewed for the first time since 2013 on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in North Philadelphia. It is Charlotte and Temple in a key American Conference matchup today. Hello, everyone, and welcome courtside to Liacouras Center alongside former Drexel Dragon Dickie Jones. I'm John Moses. Two of the four top-scoring teams in terms of defense facing off in this one today, Dickie. So this one may come down. Which team to get off to a better start offense?
Right, and both of these coaches really want their players to come out and start the game with a sense of urgency. They also want them to keep that same energy for every quarter as well.
A 5-1 start in American Conference play for Charlotte, thanks to the great length in their front court led by Tracy Houston.
Houston is a problem, a post player who demands the ball along with the ability to pass and find her open teammates. It makes her extremely hard to guard. Houston attracts double teams and handles it like a pro.
And for the Owls, Inez Piper has been one of the league's most efficient post players when she's been able to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, you're right. Piper has made so many improvements to her game from a season ago. One of those improvements has been made on the defensive end, leading her team in blocks per game. Offensively, she's playing with more confidence and looking for her shot, being more of an overall threat for her team.
Well, taking a closer look at these two leading post players we'll focus on a little bit here today. I mean, Tracy Houston, we don't have the assists per game numbers on this graphic, Dickie, but Charlotte head coach Kariko Swegra described her as one of the best passing post players she's coached in her 13 years in Charlotte.
And that's tough. That makes her such a threat when, getting those double teams coming towards her. She can see her teammates pass it out and make good passes as well.
Well, 5-1 start in the league for Charlotte, team that was picked 10th in the preseason poll. Owls were picked 9th, and Charlotte trying to hold on to the top spot in the American Conference as well, pick up their first ever win at Temple. Of course, a lot of those matchups coming back in the A-10 days next door at McGonigal Hall. Owls all-time 6-0 at home against Charlotte, and Ray Tucker wins the game's opening tip in the hands of Aaliyah Nelson. He's working on a little bit of history today. Nelson 5 points away from 1,500 in her career.
Yeah, she's such a valuable asset to this Temple team. And, those numbers don't lie. It really shows what she's capable of.
And there it is. Aaliyah Nelson gets it started the right way for Temple.
I like the start by Aaliyah Nelson, taking that initiative to really just look at the basket, shot first.
Starting lineup for Charlotte. This is the group that Kariko Swegra has settled on for Charlotte this year. Starting lineups presented by Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. You've got 3 players, 6'1" or taller in that starting lineup. Music, Houston, and Rembert. There's the double team. 3 ball is up and good from the corner for Olivia Porter.
Right on cue, and it helps so much to have Houston be such a taller player. She can see over those double teams.
Temple was 7-5 with this group as their starting lineup. Piper and Tucker in the front court. Debbie Washington, a valuable graduate transfer from Vanderbilt. Good hands from Deja Lawrence. She's got the steal for Charlotte, and Lawrence finishes.
That's one thing that Lawrence is really good at, jumping those passing lanes, translating that to offense.
Washington quickly the other way, left it short. Olivia Porter initiating for Charlotte. Porter, a clean look, and she's got 3.
I like the start by Charlotte, really just taking the best shots in their half-court sets, not forcing anything, and just kind of letting it flow through their system.
Charlotte 9th in the league in scoring this year, just shy of 66 points per game. As we were talking about at the top of the presentation today, 4th in the league in scoring defense, holding their opponents under 61 per game. This is Tiara East, a denial at the rim by Tracy Houston. Owls will have it with 6 on the timer.
I like Houston so much. She does a little bit of everything for her team. Very solid in her position.
East, that's for 2. Missed it off the backboard, and turns out to be a shot clock violation for Temple.
We've seen Temple struggle throughout the season with when teams pressure them, and they kind of struggle getting their shot off in time, and they're kind of racing against that shot clock.
Lawrence, a step back in the mid-range is heavy off the back rim, but a second opportunity for Charlotte. This is Houston creating and missed. Well defended by East and Rain Tucker. Fouls in their home Philly Rays today. That is Aaliyah Nelson for two. No. Look at Lawrence on the glass, able to wrestle that one away from Debbie Washington.
I think this game between these two teams is really going to be a battle in so many different ways and just the way that they play the game.
Houston heavy off the back of the rim. Another opportunity, and then Houston takes a shot from East as she went after the miss. Kara Consuegra, 13th year leading Charlotte, has led them from the A-10 to Conference USA and now to the American. She has coached 9 1,000-point scorers in her career. Fine guard in her day at Iowa. And important to see Houston back to her feet after taking that shot to the mouth. Such an important player for Charlotte. They've brought quite a bit of talent over from Conference USA team that won the regular season title 2 years ago.
I like the hustle here. I think it was just accidental. Tier East going for that rebound as well.
Remberg. Ill-advised pass. Inez Piper has the takeaway. No numbers for Temple. Wait, no, Nikki, we're talking about teams getting off to a great start offensively. Nelson's got a real bounce in her step to start this one, as Deja Lawrence is going to get hit with a foul.
Yeah, right. I think having conversations with Aaliyah Nelson over the years, I think she's the type of player that knows her stats, and she knows that she's only a few points away from 1,500, so, you can kind of see that pep in her step when she's about to break a record.
Gosh, remember that last December when she was hunting for 1,000 career points against Duquesne as East steps on the sideline for Temple's second turnover, where she just came out flying in that one, went for 31.
You're right, and, she knows. I'm pretty sure she knows what her numbers are.
Maybe a quarter initiating for Charlotte. Remberg and Houston. So Temple sort of matching their length with Tucker and Piper. Houston attracts two. Fall away Jay falls off.
A nice move by Houston. That's exactly what she wants to do, but I think if she'll keep going for that positioning, that shot, she'll end up making it.
Debbie Washington, face-up game on the baseline, got a defender off her feet, and that was blocked. Washington looking for a foul. See Temple head coach Diane Richardson wearing the autism awareness t-shirt. The puzzle piece today is a topic that's near and dear to her heart. We were talking about that earlier this week with Coach Rich, now in her second year at North Philadelphia.
Yeah, and one of the things that she mentioned is bringing awareness this way with basketball teaches compassion to people, be compassionate about other people's situations in life, and I love that part of it.
Coach Rich was sharing with us that she has a family that has 2 members of it that are on the autism spectrum, and she says it provides a lot of value to her players in addition to her immediate family because it gives them awareness, exposure to sort of how different life can be.
I love when, things outside of basketball are connected to the sport. It just makes it a well-rounded thing to be a part of.
Lonnie Smith is on the floor for the first time for Charlotte, junior guard from Georgia. And steps taken by Olivia Porter before she put it on the deck. Piper creating. CR East, a wing three, and got it.
And that's the rotation that Temple wants. They want to spread out Charlotte's defense to be able to get those wide open shots. Great shot by TR East.
Houston, the pick and pop game is good. Tracy Houston, senior from Roanoke, Virginia. A likely all-American Athletic Conference pick with her play this year.
Yeah, she's like a three-level post player. She can play different positions and really just dominate.
Foul will go on Houston inside as Tiara East was making her move through the back door. Well, good start to this one offensively for both teams. Charlotte 4 of 8 from the field. They've got a 2-point lead halfway through quarter number 1. Yeah, talking about that foul trouble, that was something we were chatting about with Temple head coach Diane Richardson earlier this week about how when Inez Piper and Rain Tucker play with some first half foul trouble where they have to come out, it changes up their rotations a little bit, changes what they want to do defensively as well.
Those two players are very important to the Temple 5 that are on the court. They have such a big presence, and they're needed on the court. They cannot get in foul trouble.
First one rolls off for Tiara East, Temple's second leading scorer, just shy of 12 points per game, a 72% foul shooter for the year. Rolls the second one in, making a 1-point game as the Owls play a little bit full court pressure. Tariana Gary is in with East and Nelson. Porter in some trouble. Houston attracts a crowd. Jumper up for Nia Young. And Nelson not able to keep that one in play, crashing into her own bench.
We don't see Temple full court press too often, but I think when they do get a lot of valuable possessions out of that. They're forcing Charlotte in this moment to play faster than they want to play.
Houston over Tucker. Offensive rebound. Rembert had it blocked on the way up. And that one ended up over the top of the backboard. It'll be Temple ball.
I think Houston is really trying to find her rhythm and get into a flow. I think she's having she's been put in the position to take great shots, just hasn't been able to make them.
You know, Temple head coach Diane Richardson was talking about how we've got to throw bodies at her. She's got to see length and hands on her catch. I mean, when you were a post player, Nikki, did you see a lot of double teams? When did you become comfortable working out of them?
I did. I think the double teams for me started in high school. Sometimes it was a triple team. So I started learning how to play out of that super quickly and early in my career.
Houston took a step before she put it on the floor.
I think one of the biggest things about having a double team come at you as a post player is being comfortable with knowing that it's coming and just kind of thinking of different things in your mind when it comes at you.
Well, busy day in North Philadelphia continues next door. Temple Gymnastics hosting Towson as our own Kevin Kopp and former Owl Lauren Capone will have to call at 5 o'clock right next door at McGonigal Hall. Piper for three. That's good for Inez Piper. An occasional three-point shooter. Her fourth make of the year and 14 tries.
And this is part of Piper's game that has improved her, just taking that initiative offensively and looking for her shot a lot more than she did a season ago.
Smith working screen roll game with Music. This is for Tudia Kite. Around Tucker and missed. Nelson able to come up with the rebound.
Like you said, Aaliyah Nelson is really ready to produce for her team today. Normally we don't see her crashing the boards. Her teammates can do that for her.
Tiara East got a defender off her feet. After that terrific offensive rebound in traffic. A couple more free throws coming for East and the Owls.
I think Temple's a really great team when Tiara East is on her A game and she's doing all of those little things like crashing the boards and all of those hustle plays make such a big difference overall for her team when she does that.
Two of Tiara East's 20-point games this year coming against Power 5 opponents, Northwestern and Ole Miss.
Sometimes you'll see players kind of perform at a higher level when you know that the team is a little bit better or ranked a little bit higher. I think Tiara East is one of those players, but she needs to play like that all the time.
This is one of those speedier lineups that Temple can use with Jaleesa Molina and Tariana Gary off the bench. Watkins able to get out of the trouble. This is Porter. Nice feed inside. Diakite, her first field goal.
I like the confidence that Charlotte had with that press that Temple showing at them. They're looking up, finding their teammates in that sequence.
Molina, the drive and kick. with Tariana Gary has defenders flying all over the place. They got to be ready for the shooter. Nelson, a step back two. Offensive rebound, Jaliso Molina. Nelson had it poked away. And then Smith gave it right back. Tiara East all the way home and missed. Molina after it was denied, but East was not back in bounds when she grabbed the rebound. Well, they're letting some physicality play out early on in this one, Nikki.
I like that. I think, you don't have to call everything. I know it's part of the job as a referee, but, some of the things you can let go and still have a pretty clean game.
Here comes Tristan Taylor off the bench for Temple. Jewel Watkins, good guard from Columbus, Ohio. Massages across the timeline for Charlotte. Diakite not on the same page with Rembert, so Porter chasing it down here, final 90 seconds of the first quarter. Rembert, the quick move to the goal. That's a blocking foul inside. Rain Tucker trying to slide over and take a charge.
Great idea. That's exactly what, a coach would tell Rain Tucker to do, is slide over and take that charge. But I think now she has to be careful of the next few defensive possessions to make sure she stays out of foul trouble.
The first rest for Rain Tucker. She and Tiara East on the sideline as Denise Solis checks in. First free throw up and good for Kiana Rembert, redshirt sophomore, originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. Started her collegiate career in Illinois. Charlotte head coach Kara Consuegra telling us about just how sort of underappreciated she is for her ability to help the helper defensively. As Molina has her first field goal today, Owls by 3.
Molina is another great player for Temple. Still trying to figure out her potential and how good she can be, but she has seen a lot of minutes from Temple this season.
Porter lost her footing. Forces the 5th first quarter turnover for Charlotte.
And credit to Temple for forcing Charlotte to turn the ball over. Again, making them play faster is not exactly what Charlotte wants to do. This is kind of what I meant for the keys for Charlotte, is to manage the Temple play, Charlotte's speed, and Charlotte's game.
Taylor, Solis has a switch and a mismatch inside. Owls don't get it to her. Molina, oh, what a catch. And gets the roll inside. Compliments of Tristan Taylor.
That's why Tristan Taylor's on the court. She keeps her head up and knows how to find her teammates in traffic.
Taylor, the first-year guard from Duncanville, Texas. One of Temple's most trusted three-point shooters. As Porter dribbles out the final possession here of the first quarter. Down to 7 on the shot clock. She's in trouble. Somehow got it to Rembert. Did she get it off? No, it's a shot clock violation. Owls have a chance here with 1.4. Tristan Taylor did not get that one off in time, but a valiant heave to end the first quarter. Owls leading by 5, thanks to some strong three-point shooting.
Such a great start for Temple defensively. They led the way with their defense.
Days. Good start to this one offensively for both teams. We were talking about how, in terms of scoring defense, Temple's number 2, Charlotte's number 4 in the league. As Porter feeds Houston and lays in 2. Great execution to start the second quarter.
I think the scoring defense kind of showed how the rest of this game will go and how it will flow. Just watching that first quarter and how defense was such a important factor for both teams.
Mostly bench unit for Temple. Tristan Taylor draws a whistle against Porter. We've got Solis, Molina, Kendall Currents, and Tristan Taylor as his 4 bench players and 1 starter, Demi Washington.
Maybe Coach Diane Richardson wasn't happy with her starting 5 and kind of sat them, but either way, whatever five's on the court, they need to find a way to play both offense and defense.
You know, it's something that Temple head coach Diane Richardson was talking to us about early in the year, that she was just so happy to have a full team. She has depth. She feels like she has the ability to sort of mix and match lineups and play best fives against specific opponents, which is serving the Owls well to start this one today. Temple leading by 5.
I think that's also helpful from a practice standpoint.
Boy, Diane Richardson scampering out of the way of that errant pass. As the Owls force a turnover.
The third game in a row that she is a target on the sidelines. This time she stayed on her feet. So.
Well, you see she's wearing the boot on her left foot. She's got a busted left pinky toe, and she says on game days she wants to wear the nice Jordans. She's got a great shoe collection, but the doctor's saying you got to wear the boot, Diane. Here's Demi Washington, and she draws a whistle inside. Fouls on Tracy Houston, her second.
You know, if you're Charlotte, just looking from a defensive standpoint in that sequence, I mean, Washington is pretty much taking on the whole team 1 against 5. So, you know, a sequence like that, if you're their head coach, that's kind of unacceptable. You have to stop this one player and also take away her other options.
Well, the 2 leading scorers for Charlotte, Deja Lawrence and Tracy Houston, each have 2 personal fouls and are glued to the Charlotte bench right now. First free throw no good for Demi Washington.
You see her driving in, and she's attracted all the defense, and no one was able to really stop her.
That one spills off for Demi Washington. As Fatou Diakite, first-year forward from the Ivory Coast, comes away with the board. Music for 3. Demi off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound for Charlotte. Their 5th already today. Music misses inside, and then a foul on the board against Denise Solis.
Luckily for Temple, Music missed that corner 3. She is Charlotte's 3-point shooter and also a really big hustle player. You can see she was right underneath the rim to get another chance at that shot.
Remberg, perfectly done.
I love a good out-of-bounds play that can be executed perfectly. Great job by Charlotte to run that play efficiently.
Washington, a baseline J, it's good. Boy, Demi Washington hunting her own shot a little bit more these days. She had a career-high 20 out at Wichita State a few games back.
Again, that equal opportunity offense, anyone can score. They're all capable, and I like to see some players like Washington step up and make that happen.
There's Amani Smith off the bench. I think that's a question you ask for Charlotte. Where do they go for offense when their 2 leading scorers, Lawrence and Houston, are on the sideline? Smith answering the call here in the second quarter. It's a 3-point game under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Tristan Taylor's runner is no good. And then look at Taylor hanging around in the backcourt. And she draws a foul on Smith.
Great job by Taylor. She's such a small player, but she works so hard. She knows exactly where she needs to be or needed to be in that possession to go back up.
We'll have a women's basketball matchup of the night coming on Thursday. Part of College Game Day. Number 1, South Carolina takes on Angel Reese. And number 10, LSU at the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge. College Game Day crew gets you started at 7 o'clock. That is going to be a war. Nikki, looking forward to watching that one on Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch. This 2 popular teams, probably most talked about teams in the past year or 2, so it'll be a great battle.
Just love watching Dawn Staley coach teams at South Carolina.
Literally anything Dawn Staley does is just amazing. I'm a fan, for sure.
You see Dawn Staley, I mean, she still has such a connection to Temple University. When Temple head coach Diane Richardson picked up her 100th win as a collegiate head coach, Dawn Staley had a great heartfelt message that was shared on the video board here before the game last weekend against Memphis.
I can't quote her exactly, but I know she said something about the 100 win and told Coach Richardson to keep it 100 as well.
Tough shot for Inez Piper is no good, and Julissa Molina went over the back of Diakite.
Right idea by Molina. That's what Temple wants to do. They're great at crashing those offensive boards, and Inez Piper went up to try to get that one, but wasn't able to make that count.
Boy, Tristan Taylor, what a sequence, but wave off the shot attempt for Tiara East, shuffling the feet on the catch. Boy, Tristan Taylor, you really sometimes lose her perspective on the court because she's only 5'5", but she's just got such great hands.
Yeah, and I think some of those smaller players have to work in different ways. It's something that I've never had the perspective to see, but, you know, I've watched them from the outside and just kind of see that they see things differently than us taller players.
Good job by Charlotte against the half-court pressure, and Diakite scores it, plus a foul on Julissa Molina.
That's one thing that I think Charlotte has done well in this game is pass the ball ahead while being pressured by Temple. Really just passing the ball faster than Temple can guard them.
Halfway down and out, Rembert had a piece of the rebound for Charlotte, and that one last touched by Temple. Porter comes to get it. It's a 2-point game, under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Solis got a piece of it and comes up with the steal for Temple. Corner three for Tiara East is no good. Rebound last touched by Charlotte.
The way Temple is moving as a unit defensively, keeping their hands active is really beneficial to just what they want to do on the defensive end before translating that to offense.
Whistle and a foul off the ball. This is on the Owls inside. It's on Denise Solis.
Her second team sport substitution for the Owls.
Temple wanted to sub in Debbie Washington. She didn't get to the table in time. Porter, yeah, she shuffled her feet on the catch.
Substitution for the Owls.
And Temple forces the 11th first half turnover for Charlotte.
The press has really just been beneficial for Temple. And again, they're making Charlotte play a lot faster than they want to play, and that's causing some of those unforced turnovers.
Music to the sideline. So we're talking about dangerous three-point shooter at 44% entering play today. Nelson for three, halfway down and out. Smith is fouled on the rebound. And that should put Charlotte on the line. Foul on Piper is the 15th foul for Temple. Charlotte in the bonus here for the last 6 minutes of the first half.
Going back to the key of the game, this is what Temple needs to watch out for, is avoiding foul trouble, playing clean basketball, just being smart in how they're defending Charlotte.
It's a nice moment between Charlotte head coach Kara Consuegra and Olivia Porter, sophomore guard in her first year at Charlotte after playing 6 games at Michigan State to begin her collegiate career. Tiara East, the pull-up, missed it all. Porter, a one-player fast break and couldn't finish with the offhand. It's a track meet right now. Nelson carried the ball in transition.
A lot of times when we see teams kind of go so fast back and forth, that's when we start to see travels and just missed shots that they could have kind of controlled if they were going a little bit slower.
Smith comes to get it, and she was held by Tristan Taylor, so more free throws coming here for Charlotte.
Number 11, Tristan Taylor. Her first team 11 substitution for the Owls, number 22.
The right idea by Taylor to try to stay in front, but you still have to kind of give her space to catch the ball and decide what she wants to do with it.
Here's Amani Smith. First one good for the junior guard. She's got a real nose for the glass. Charlotte's only one of 2 double-doubles this year was recorded by Smith off the bench against North Texas, 11 points and 10 boards.
You know, that says so much about a player who obviously can score because that's such a big part of the game, but grabbing rebounds really comes down to effort, and doing it consistently to get a double-double is, you know, that much harder of the work ethic that the player may have.
This is Tariana Gowrie, Demi Washington, good ball movement by the Owls. Aaliyah Nelson missed it. Offensive board, Tiara East. Piper. Demi Washington, no.
The right idea, and again, this is what Charlotte wants to kind of force Temple to play in that half-court set and slow them down to see if they can have a different option versus the transition buckets.
Smith, halfway down and out from beyond. Boarded by Tariana Gowrie for Temple. Gowrie, nice find inside. Inez Piper lays it in.
Great job. I love when they flow like that. They're looking ahead. They're not trying to dribble too much. Just pass it up until it gets in the basket.
Diakite, that's for 3. An offensive rebound by Smith. Make that 8 offensive rebounds here in the first half for Charlotte. Whistle and a foul off the ball. It's going Temple's direction. Deanna Rember in a battle inside with Inez Piper. We are even at 25, under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Then off to Allen Fieldhouse for number 3, Kansas and Cincinnati. Should be a great night of hoops. Games available as well on the ESPN app. Former Owl Bill Reynolds on the floor for Cincinnati. Should be a good matchup with Hunter Dickinson in Kansas. That's a real good Kansas team out there right now.
Yeah, this is the best time of the year to just watch any college basketball game. So many chances and opportunities of upsets, which obviously makes it more exciting.
The upsets have been all over the place. On the men's and women's side, it seems like if you got a number next to your name, it's not safe.
It is not safe for anyone out there. I love that, though.
Owls re-emerge from the media timeout with Rain Tucker on the floor. She's got 2 personal fouls. Kendall Currents also in there with East, Nelson, and Demi Washington. Tucker. East is left alone. Diakite chases down the board for Charlotte. Charlotte's done a nice job on the glass with this one. They keep +4 right now.
No, that was an area of focus for Charlotte, is to crash the boards. Coach said it really just comes down to the heart and effort of going after the rebounds.
East sees a crowd, somehow finds Demi Washington, and she gets the roll inside.
I think the equal opportunity offense for Temple is more about just sharing the ball and finding the best open shot. And I think that's what Tiara East was able to do in that possession.
7 assists on 9 made field goals for the Owls here in the first half. Music, the target inside. She is tied up with Washington, and yet Demi Washington's going to get hit with a foul. So more free throws here for Charlotte. Attempts number 6 and 7 for them here in the second quarter. They've been in the bonus since around the 6-minute mark.
Charlotte needs to find a way to take advantage of that. They haven't been able to, I think, produce the way that they're used to producing offensively. They've had their shots, haven't been able to really get in a rhythm and knock them down. So if they can't make it count at the free throw line.
Casey Busick, odd to see her missing a free throw. You see the number there, 96%. She almost never misses. It's us at a 1-point game here. 2.5 to go in the first half. Kendall Currents tries a three. No. And then East ends up fouling Porter. That's a veteran move from Olivia Porter. Sort of baiting East into that foul.
Again, like I said, if Charlotte can take advantage and make it to the free throw line, seems like Porter knew exactly what she was doing in that sequence, allowing Tiara East to foul her so she can get to the free throw line.
I mean, that's the type of heady play you would expect from a coach's kid. Olivia Porter, her father is the special teams coach at the University of North Carolina. Larry Porter, and a player that Charlotte head coach Kara Consuegra was not super familiar with. Played her final year of high school basketball in North Carolina, and when she ended up in the portal coming out of Michigan State, she started calling around to high school coaches in the North Carolina area who played against Olivia Porter in her 1 year of high school basketball in North Carolina. She said nearly every coach was saying, yeah, this is a no-brainer. She's a great fit for you.
And that's a great player to have on your team. Someone that, just understands the game, is willing to be coached, and she's still so young. She has so much more room to grow.
Mistake on the perimeter by Charlotte. Tristan Taylor is going to shoot 3 free throws here for Temple.
It's number 11, Tristan Taylor.
Taylor this season 13 of 17 from the free throw line. Temple head coach Diane Richardson is excited to have Tristan Taylor in her program, really sees her as a future all-league caliber player with her ability to shoot the ball and, of course, her ability defensively.
She's a fun player to watch. She's one of those players who does a lot, but she doesn't show any emotion on her face. She really just does exactly what's expected of her and nothing more. And, that's okay. Sometimes players are like that, but, knowing that just kind of coming in and filling that role for Leah Nelson sometimes is interesting because they're kind of opposite in a way.
Yeah, Nelson and Taylor have gotten to be pretty close as Taylor got a piece of that one to knock it into the backcourt. See just her activity at the point of attack defensively. Rembert, wave it off. It's an offensive foul. Kendall Currents in the right place at the right time.
Great job by Currents. I don't think that's what she intended to do, but again, because she was in the right place at the right time, it worked out in her favor.
Charlotte showing a different defense here. A half-court zone trap. Tough catch by Taylor, and is that a 3-second violation? Oh no, they've got a foul on Debbie Washington off the ball. So foul trouble becoming a factor for Temple. East, Washington, Molina, Tucker, and Solis, each with 2 personals for the Owls.
Something that I'd like Temple to be able to avoid, but now they have to play through some of their key players being in foul trouble.
Porter trying to thread the needle to Rembert, and that's a tie-up. Look at Debbie Washington. Great anticipation defensively.
That helper is so key in any defense, but I think a player like Washington understands I'm not just going to go over and help. I'm going to try to catch the ball and take that and go with it in transition.
Well, Debbie Washington is just relentless on the floor. Washington had it partially blocked by Rembert. And Porter comes away with it. Final minute of the first half. Smith. Porter settles. Porter the drive and kick. Smith for three. No. Music after the rebound, and she knocked it out of play.
Charlotte really hunting down a good shot, something to get them in the flow and find a rhythm. I don't think that they've been able to find that just yet, but there's still time for them to get into the rhythm that they're used to.
About a 10-second difference between the clocks. Nelson for three. That's good. Aaliyah Nelson. Her second three-pointer here in the first half. She's now over 1,500 points in her collegiate career. Final seconds. This is Nia Young with 5. Young defended by Currents. No. And that'll do it for the first half.